So, guys, we're going to get into a ton of trades tonight, talk about what we're supposed to be doing. It is currently June 13th at the time of this recording, but my issue that I've been running into lately, and who knows, maybe it's just because I'm a wuss, but I always struggle, even in a relatively shallow format. Let's call it a 12-team Superflex PPR start 10. I struggle even in a big trade to just throw in a Jerry Judy or throw in, quote unquote, a DJ Moore to get a big trade done. I'm worried about depth in a semi-shallow format. And I don't have it in me to give away wide receiver twos. Talk to me about that. Scott, what are your thoughts?
Well, when you're talking about players that are in the Jerry Judy range, you use him and his example, and it would be the same argument as if somebody came to you and said, I'm willing to give you a 24 first for a receiver in that range. Most likely you're going to say, okay, I'll take it for the flexibility of the pick. We talk about that kind of process all the time. You can buy a replacement level wide receiver 2/3 for a first. You can draft one. Typically you draft a first round receiver. They go right into that range. So you have to kind of think about it. Is that a league where, okay, have I tried to sell? Even in a start 10, let's say I have 3 Jerry Judys. Probably the smart process is, even if you're not contending, even if you are contending, try to liquidate one of those for a pick, because what can you do with the pick later? And it's for this exact reason.
Let me throw this example in specifically, because I've got a team where it's a start 9. It's shallow, but I have so many Deontay Johnson types. Okay, so I've got Deontay Johnson, Cortland Sutton, DJ Moore, Chris Godwin. I've got a bunch of those types. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, you have 3 guys right there you named, Chris Godwin, Deontay Johnson, DJ Moore, that you can justify all of them. Hey, they could all be useful top 24 receivers. They could all be outside of that range to where it's like, I don't really want all 3 because they're not really helping you all that much. You need enough of them, but you don't need all of them. I'd rather have one of them to become a first round pick that I can use in a bigger deal. This is exactly what the question was that you asked. The bigger deal is right in front of you. Right. And so it's like, okay, you'd want to liquidate one of them so you have a pick so you can make a bigger deal. But now here, all you have to do is throw them in to get the bigger deal done. So put it this way, unless there is an even bigger deal that comes along where you would want to have the pick versus the player. And I think this is where a lot of people get caught up in not understanding like the mechanism of what these assets are. Forget about the player name. What is easier to trade in your given league? A first or Deontay Johnson? A first
exactly.
Or Jerry Judy? Now, you may say Jerry Judy's worth a first, but when you only have one first, and it can be anything, it can be used at any time during the Dynasty calendar, why would you want to spend it on a very, very flat, non-scarce asset in June? So if you just think about it that way, it is a plus EV move to go and liquidate at least one of those receivers for a first. I don't even care if you're contending. I think the biggest mistake contending teams make, oh man, I can't trade those win now receivers.
Right.
Okay, well, they're win now receivers, but really what they are is they're just placeholders. You should be trading them away. That actually doesn't really hurt whether you're a win now team or not, but right. It gives you the assets to go make a bigger deal, because you may have the bigger deal lined up. Clay, I don't want Jerry Judy. Well, he's the one piece I want to throw into the deal that's kind of worth a first. I don't want him. I want a first. So it's in that case, you'd rather have the first. So you're just getting there an easier way, right? You're throwing in the player without having to give up a pick. So I think if that's the difference, it's essentially like throwing in a second and a third. It's like throwing in an early second. Like, you're not going to let that be a barrier to a bigger deal. So I don't start 10 more often than not. You're just going to take it.
Hey, dude, what are you doing? Nut up. Jerry Judy should never be an impediment to a trade. I could see
that should never be a word, and it actually isn't. So
it's impediment. It's a word. I just pronounced it in the New England edition.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Jerry Judy. Like, if I was given the choice, like Scott was saying, if someone was like, all right, you can give me Jerry Judy, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, or a future first, I would fall over myself to give him the player, because those players are easily replaceable. There are literally like 15, 20 guys, like off the top of our head, that we could just name that all fall in that little category. And the first, once you make the pick, is probably going to fall into that category too. But until you make that pick, it's actually worth so much more, just because it's the mystery box, and you can do so much more with it because it's a fungible asset.
Exactly. Let me ask you this. Let's do a trade. So 12 team Superflex PPR start 10. Let's say I've got Herbert, but I really want to, or not Herbert. Let's use who's one behind let's use T-Law. Okay. I'm offering you T-Law and JT, and I want Jalen Hurts. And you're like, no, that's not happening. I'm gonna need a first. And I'm like, I'm not throwing a first. And you're like, fine, I'm gonna need Brandon Ayuk. So he wants Brandon Ayuk, or you want Shane, Brandon Ayuk, Trevor Lawrence, and JT for Jalen Hurts.
I mean, I would do probably Trevor Lawrence and Jonathan Taylor for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
it's getting greedy to add Brandon Ayuk into the trade.
adding Brandon Ayuk.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's requiring me to include Brandon Ayuk. That's what I mean. Like the bigger picture. I mean, that's me getting Jalen Hurts.
JT and Lawrence is already. I'm good.
That's plenty.
I'm good. And I think that is where maybe Shane and I differ. I'll let him weigh in on this. If I have Deshaun Watson, Justin Fields, Joe Burrow, I don't have a desire to tier up at quarterback. I have no interest in throwing all my assets at Trevor Lawrence to go get Jalen Hurts. No thanks. I'll roll with the quarterbacks I have if I have those really, really high floor, high value floor specifically already top 9 quarterbacks. So maybe that's a bad example. But in that case, I'm kind of looking at it going like, I'm already giving you Jonathan Taylor on top of Trevor Lawrence to go up to Jalen Hurts, and you're greedy enough to ask for an additional piece on top of it. No.
It's a 4 point. It's a 4 point per passing touchdown. There's a 0.15 PPC. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's move on, man. Let's keep going here. We've got 217 people in the crowd. Couple legs going. If you're watching on replay, welcome. If you don't want to spend the 2 hours with us, totally understand, but you should bookmark and come back. But you should definitely set your calendar. Guys, are you excited about the super stream this coming Saturday, the 17th? We are doing a Dynasty Trades in 5-hour super stream from 7 p.m. to midnight Eastern this Saturday, which is the 17th, I believe. It's going to be kick-ass. We're going to have some guests, Ray G, Kane from Devi Marketplace, others. We're going to do a roster review. That probably should have been a surprise. We're giving out Scott Fishbowl tickets. So let's go, man. We'll see you next Saturday. It's going to be awesome. 5 hours of Dynasty. Probably only 15 minutes of fluff, honestly. Hit the subscribe. We'll see you there. Okay. Let's move on to let's go to a super chat.
All right.
Brad H. What's up, Shane?
I'm saying hi to Brad.
Oh, hi, Brad. Brad, thanks for the super chat, man. Startup 12 team Superflex, start 11 PPR. Nice solid bones there. Traded the 107, 206, 406, 606, 24 first for the 101, 212, 412, 612, 24 second. Let's start with that. And then he made another trade, but okay, so gave the 107, 206, the 406, 606, and the 24 first. And he essentially moved up to the 101 and then just bumped back 6 spaces in every round and then kicked back that 24 second.
So
101 from.
See, I'll just say this.
I'm doing it.
Here's the thing. I say I don't want to tier up at quarterback, but you essentially just swapped a random first and second, which you don't know where they're going to be. And you just swapped out 6 spots in every round. That's it.
Yeah.
And you went from Justin Herbert to Mahomes. Now,
did he?
In an existing league, would I necessarily chase a deal to add players and picks to do that? No, but you won this deal because you didn't give up more picks than you got. You still got a second back for your first. That's really all you paid. So I don't know about Shane, but that's basically, I'm looking at it like it's Herbert and a first for Mahomes and a second, pretty much, right?
I will say this. I do not care about the moving 6 picks in the various rounds. I hate giving up a first under any circumstances, but I'm fine with this. Now, if it was like doing this at like 105 when I could get Lamar Jackson, I'd probably be a little reticent to do it. That's also a real word. 107, yeah, that's when you get into the Herbert T-Law range, who I like, but definitely are a tier below that elite range.
And I think you get Lamar. I think Lamar will go behind T-Law and Burrow and Herbert in startups.
Well, then I don't know if I should make this trade, because if I can get T-Law at 107, but see, I don't know if I want to risk that, because if I'm in a league with people that know what they're doing, they're not letting Lamar fall to 107.
Do the math. It's Lamar, T-Law, Burrow, Herbert, Mahomes, Hurts, Allen. You're guaranteed one of the 7.
Don't make me
guaranteed. If you're at 107, you already know you're getting one of the 7.
Yeah. But Herbert and T-Law are different than Lamar to me. Lamar's closer to Mahomes than those two are.
All right,
in a one season window. Yeah,
and
but I think
the rest of our lives window.
Dynasty value, I think everyone would take Herbert and
until after the season, until after the season when Lamar goes out there and puts up another MVP caliber season, everyone's like, "Oh wait, he is good at this."
Well, let me ask you guys this: in that trade, what did the team trading away from the 101 get? What was their motivation? Was their motivation to get that second to the first? Right? Is that the motivation?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the first. So that we can already like profile that person. We know what type of person that is.
Look,
they're willing to move back from Mahomes. They're right off the bat going to start doing it. Ah, crap, man. I unstarred that. If you can re-find it anyway, guys, there was a second trade there. We'll move on to another one and get back.
No, it was a 5 and a 7 for a 3 and a 5 and a 7 from a 3 for a 3 and a 10. The only reason I would do that would be, what else can I do with that third that I'm getting? Can I then move back and get like a leverage trade on that? I like the 3rd and the 10th trade in that deal. And then what can I do with the 3rd?
So we got the 3rd and moved to 5 and the 10 to get the
He moved a 5 and a 7 to get a 3 and a 10. So he moved up 2 rounds in the range where you could say there could be some difference makers, and he only slid back from the 7 to the 10. So I think in a startup, again, he made 2 trades. He didn't violate any of the rules. Yes.
That's so flat right there. The 7 to 10, like him moving up into the 3rd, like if he's moving up into the 5th, I guess let me ask you guys that in the startup. So in that one, he moved all the way up to the 3rd round where there still are relevant players, lots of difference making players. Where does that line cut off? So you're in the startup and you're looking to move some 7th, 8th, 9th, something like that. Do you not want to move back up further than like the 5th? I mean, is that like the latest you want to trade back to? Does that make sense? Where does it get flat?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, without looking at ADP off the top of my head, I'm thinking it's probably mid to late 4th round.
You're on mute.
Other than maybe 1 or 2 running backs, every running back's flat. Other than 2 or 3 tight ends, every tight end's flat. Other than the top 6 receivers, maybe top 10, they're all flat. So I'm talking it gets flat in the 3rd. Because I'm sitting here going like, what is the difference in a startup between Ramondre Stevenson and Miles Sanders? Nothing. It's a 1-year bet who's going to have more points. That's it. That's it. So you're talking insulated players there. It gets flat pretty quickly.
Yeah, here you go. As soon as you get to the, Ken Walker, DK Metcalf, Cooper Kupp, Steph Diggs, Najee Harris, Kirk Cousins, Superflex range, which
that's like round 3, right?
Yeah, it's literally round 3. It's literally round 3. So Jesus, it happens quick. It always does too. And that's the thing when you're drafting, right? You think you're like, there's so much value. I'm going to get so many players I really love.
Yeah, like the 5th is going to be awesome. Like there's going to be some studs still chilling.
By the 4th round, I'm already like, fuck, I don't want to have to pick any of these guys. And it's not that I don't like these players in a vacuum, but it's like we're talking about that flat tier. Like I could give a shit who I get from basically the 4th to the 7th round. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I got Mark Andrews in the 4th or the 6th, I wouldn't give a shit. I like Mark Andrews, but just
that's when you're trading back to get those first. Yeah. So
here's the beauty when you get like the 2 elite quarterbacks. Somebody is gonna pass on Steph Diggs or Cooper Kupp or Derrick Henry because they're old. And so if you have, instead of a 3rd, if you have a 5th, instead of a 4th, you have a 6th, instead of a 5th, you have a 7th. Sometimes in a startup, you can just sit there and pick up points after points after points, the high warp players, and you go, you know what? I don't even care if they go away in a year or 2 because someone is going to take DK Metcalf 2 rounds higher, and he might as well go away in a year or 2 because he's not a difference maker, right? It's the same as taking a younger running back. Let's take Kenneth Walker way ahead of a running back that's 4 years older, Josh Jacobs. They're not 4 years older, but you get the point. Someone will take Ken Walker earlier, and you're like, man, he'll last longer. And then you're like, okay, what does that actually mean, though? Like, give me the difference makers that tend to fall. I mean, you can build a monster team, and guess what? If you build with 2 elite quarterbacks, maybe you get an elite tight end, and then you just wait and you just take all the old player points, you can absorb them falling off your team too, because you still have the base that's stronger than everybody else. If my base includes a guy like Ken Walker or whatever, then that's not really a base.
So what that reminds me of is when we were doing the shows about the first round picks, and how if they're like, let's say you're at the 108 or 109, all it takes is a couple, quote unquote, inefficient picks for a player that you want to drop to your spot. Well, in a startup, since there are so many picks, there can be so many inefficient picks to where if you're talking about 8 to 10 spots, you're moving back, you may be playing with house money right there if some donkeys are taking people early. Does that make sense? Like, there's so much variance with picks, like might as well embrace it and move back some spots.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, but then you no matter what, there's only so many bad picks that can be made. Like, even if you're bad at drafting, you can't. Steph Diggs isn't falling out of the 4th round. Like, I don't care if everyone.
But unnecessary runs can be created. Unnecessary runs can be created on like tight ends, and all of a sudden, like Goddard is going way too early, and all of this shit. So, startups, baby. Let's do it.
The way if I could construct my perfect draft, I think I would have 3 picks in the first 2 rounds, not pick again until like round 9, and just have like 5 picks in round 9. Yeah, a couple 24 firsts, and then pick again in like round 15. Like, literally just picking like 6 total rounds.
Well, I have an interesting one for you guys, because this is a trade we got. It's been on my mind all day. Normally this doesn't happen because I'm literally looking at Dynasty stuff 24/7. So when something sticks out and it's been on my mind all day, 12-team Superflex start 10, 1.5 premium. Pat Mahomes or Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews? What side? Is it even close for you, Shane? 1.5. But you were trading your Mahomes, but start 10, and now you get Lamar, and you automatically get the best tight end or second best tight end in the league. You get the stack. You trade Mahomes away for that, Shane, in a start 10 if you don't have a good tight end?
Yes. But again, apparently I'm much higher on Lamar than consensus. So.
6 point per passing touchdown.
That wasn't specified.
I don't give a fuck, because he's gonna run for 900 yards anyway. So fuck your 6 point passing touchdown. He's making it all up with those rushing yards. God, people, what are you doing? I just need everyone to circle back after this year when Lamar Jackson's the QB1 or QB2, and everyone was like, "Oh, I never saw that coming, you idiots!" When you were trading him away because you didn't think he was going to he's not going to re-sign with Baltimore. What's going to happen? I don't know. He's not going to play in the XFL. He'll be somewhere, and he'll still be Lamar Jackson.
Here's the twist: the team that is getting Mahomes has Kelsey. We'll have Kelsey.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I'm not trading Mahomes.
Why? But you're not.
Wait. Sorry. No. Sorry.
No, you have Mahomes. Okay.
Yeah. And
the other team has Kelsey and Lamar and Andrews. You're giving them Mahomes. They're giving you Andrews and Lamar, but you also give them essentially the Mahomes Kelsey stack to match the one you're getting. Do you still do it?
Yes.
Yeah, I do, because yes, I do, because the delta moving from I don't know. That's a good one.
The delta from moving from no one to Mark Andrews is greater than giving him that.
Agree.
Hey, listen, I've been buying when I'm not busy as shit with Dynasty Trades in a 5-hour stream on Saturday. Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson. People are going to be eating so much fucking crow.
I'm looking for sponsors for Saturday night. Just sponsor us. I'm not going to do anything for you, but just sponsor us.
I was about to say, what work are you about to put on me right now?
Nothing.
No, so
nothing.
Let's address the crowd, man. We have 282 eyeballs in here. Thanks so much for joining. It's our Tuesday crew. We need to get this number up a little bit, because we're going to do some giveaway stuff here. Have you guys tweeted out something saying we're live? we need to get some more bodies in here because we're going to talk about some awesome stuff. We're going to powwow with the tribe at the end. The OGs who are always there at the end. We'll do some powwowing, and we need to enlist your help with something. So thanks so much for joining. Look down, hit that little like, give us a thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. Easiest way to help out the channel. All right, let's do this. Tristan Matthews, thank you for the super chat. Assuming 12-team Superflex, what are your preferred settings? Passing touchdowns, PPC, tiered PPR, tight end premium, bonuses, number of starters with positions, number of bench, etc.
So Scott's the bench guru.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's give our favorites based on his question here. Shane, your favorite format. Go. We're all staying separate. And Scott, you have to answer. Okay. This is the kind of thing that you would punt and avoid an answer on. You need to tell everybody what your favorite format is.
Look, I'm just going to say, I don't give a shit about the benches. You figure that out, whatever. That's beneath me. But what I will say is it's got to be Superflex, obviously. It needs to be start 11, obviously. I think 14 teams is the right number. 16, it gets a little bad, and bad teams have a really hard time getting better. 14 seems to be the sweet mix. Passing touchdowns, 6 points, interceptions, 2, PPC, 0.25, tiered PPR, yes, please.
0.25 PPC, huh?
Yeah, it's not as high as it sounds. You got to get 8.4. Yeah. So I did the math last week, but it was like you'd need a lot of carries to pull off 10 points off of that. Like it wouldn't be enough. Tight end premium, it's got to be 1.75. Start 1 tight end. I don't want to start 2 tight ends. It's just painful. But yeah, tiered PPC. Obviously, we already said that the what do you call those people? The tight ends are going to get 1.75. Running backs are going to get 1.5. Wide receivers can get 1.25.
1.5 for running backs.
Mm-hmm.
They're up there because not 0.5.
No, here's the thing. People did that because they thought. No, people did that because they're like, oh, running backs are getting too many receptions, and it was true for like 3 seasons. It was true. It's not that true. Look at how many running backs had over 50 receptions last year. It's not as great a number as you would think.
Scott,
I think it just depends on.
I'll go last.
I think
and you have to have a firm answer here, Scott.
No, I have a firm answer. A lot of what Shane said, I agree. It needs to be a start 11. Give me 30-man rosters. Give me 2 PPR for the tight ends. Or if it's 1.75, give me some sort of bonus. Maybe it's 0.15 for every 10 yards instead of 0.1, something like that. That makes it just the receiving yardage a little bit more. If you do point per first down, maybe make the tight end first downs a little bit more. But if you don't do that, it's got to be enough where it brings up I don't care about Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews. It needs to bring up the middle tier of the tight ends a little bit higher.
Yeah.
So you have to make a decision on whether you want to flex them or not. I think that's where you have to manipulate the tight end scoring. And then I do like 0.2 point per carry. So 0.25 is a little bit over the top, but I think you have to have a point per carry component, especially with the running back usage these days. Like you got to have a point per carry component. After that, I mean, I think it's just what you want with the quarterback scoring. I prefer to make the quarterback scoring juiced for quarterbacks. Quarterbacks are the most important, period. Like you should not be able to win a league with terrible quarterbacks. It's really hard to win in the NFL without real quarterbacks. So I just prefer to have the elite quarterbacks putting up the most points. Like you should look at the points per game for scoring over the last couple of years, and it should be 16 quarterbacks in the top 30-ish. Now, there's skill players that'll match them, but I tend to like the quarterback scoring pumped up a little bit just because they should be the most valuable. So I think me and Shane actually we just set 14? Up the new
14.
I don't really care 14 teams or 12. If I'm doing 12, I actually like doing more starters with the right ratio. I mean, we're just starting the new listener league, the live auction that we are going to somehow attempt to do with
the hammers,
12 people. But the settings in that I think are pretty balanced. So I think it's just preference, but you have to make it challenging up front. Don't make it so obvious. Don't make some inefficiency where people can exploit off the bat, because you're going to have teams that don't do it right. Then you're going to have a hard time filling those teams. Like make it efficient from the beginning, make there multiple ways to win, and then we're good.
Okay, I think so. I'll stay out of the tiered PPR. business, I'll just talk about a different type of format. I do like the tiered PPR, but here's a just bare bones setup. So I like 12 team Superflex PPR 1.75 tight end premium start 11. So that is quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 3 flex, and the Superflex. Is that the right math? Whatever adds to start 11 there. PPR. If there's a PPC, that's fine, but I would prefer it to be more like a 0.15. I do like some scoring that kind of brings some life back into running backs, though. I don't want the league set up and format to just hate running backs. So yeah, if there is maybe a Shane type bonus, like the 1.5 for running backs PPR, but I think that's good bones. You have maybe 28 to 29, 30-man rosters, right? With the start 11, that's a pretty decent ratio. Scott always says 33 to 40% or so of your roster should be starters. That's a nice, clean, efficient market. Okay, that's all I got. Let's keep on rolling here. Hopefully that helped you out, Tristan. Let's move on. Let's see what this private chat message is. It's Shane saying, Clay, stop talking. Remember when Noah said that you should be behind the scenes? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go to this one right here. Josh, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. 1 of 3. I sent an inbox offer last week. You guys said not to negotiate, but I just couldn't give. Oh, I remember this. I think I was exchanging messages with him, probably very delayed on my end. Okay, so he couldn't help himself. He wanted to negotiate. Final thoughts. Traded Russ, Jordan Addison, Jerry Jeudy, Michael Pittman, Tyler Boyd. Got Geno, DK, Tyreek Hill, OBJ, P. Ryan, and a second. Now I'm just going to call out without switching the screens. It's a 12-team Superflex PPR start 9, no tight end premium, 6-point passing touchdown. Okay. So before I pull up the 2 of 3 to show you his lineup, what do you think about that trade?
I mean, Russ and Geno, those can wash for me. Don't really care. Yep. I'm fine with that. DK, Addison, I'd take DK, but I could also see somebody going, I'd rather have Addison just because they're both kind of in the same tier, most likely. Tyreek for Jeudy and Pittman, and you're throwing in a second. I give me the Tyreek in the second for Pittman and Jeudy. And then it's basically Tyler Boyd and Samaje, or Tyler Boyd and for Samaje P. Ryan and Odell Beckham. I think the DK, Tyreek, Geno Smith side smash that trade.
I agree. It's really hard to disagree there.
I agree. Here's 2 of 3. So that was the format, and he says now he's rolling out QB AR15, AR5, Geno, Bijan, Ramondre, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Tyreek Hill, DK, Juwan Johnson at tight end. Got Stafford, JMO, P. Ryan, OBJ on the bench. Strong enough to go for it? Let me click on this last one and just read this last part here. Context for this is year 3 of the league. I earned the 102 last year in a 1-year full rebuild. You guys are the best. Truly appreciate all the help you guys give us every week. #1 Dynasty show. Appreciate that, Josh. Okay.
I mean, you just pivoted up.
Were you about to say something, Scott?
I say you just pivoted up in a start 9 for Tyreek Hill. So you are going for it now.
Yep.
I don't love Anthony Richardson as my QB2 with Matt Stafford as my QB3 in a start 9, but Bijan, Ramondre, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, like I can probably go for it there. I don't know what type of future capital he has. Juwan Johnson's rough at a tight end spot in a start 9, and your quarterback room could get you in a little bit of trouble, but start 9, it's strong enough to make a run. I'm not tanking.
Yeah.
But I also can be flexible if I don't win. You know, what's my plan? That's my only question.
AR5 is Anthony Richardson?
Yep.
Okay. Is 5 his number?
Apparently.
Okay, let's keep on moving here. So we got 330 folks in here. We're starting to come up on the numbers. I wonder what we're going to get up to on the super stream at the peak concurrent viewers is what the YouTube lingo is. I'm going 800. I think we're going to have 800 at the peak.
If we don't break at least 600, I'm probably going to retire.
Yeah, I thought it was some funny contests today earlier too. I was in like find affiliate sponsorship mode. And I was like, we should do a contest where it's like, okay, subscribers, you guys come up with the most out of our league brand, and I have to go pitch them and try to get their business. There's like some kind of little contest where I'm like reaching out to these brands that are way bigger than we are and trying to get it. So anyway, we'll figure it out. Something to keep me motivated. Life has just gotten different. Okay, let's go to Simon Joseph here. Hey guys. When you were talking about red flags of fantasy advice, you mentioned people not asking about your league before answering questions. Yes. I was wondering what, if any, questions are helpful to ask about an individual team before making a trade. Just roster construction, contending, rebuilding. Scott?
I mean, I think that there's so much context to a lot of questions that, like, we literally have had a couple moments where we would take the opposite side of the trade if you change out something in the format, whether it's the settings, the scorings, rules, parameters. I tend to think you should probably, what do we say on the roster review, Shane? Give us as much as you can about the league that you can possibly send when you're sending the initial trade question. I don't want to say it's annoying, but we do get a lot of messages from just random people, and it will be like A or B, this player or that player. I mean, what did I say on a couple streams ago? Like, I'm doing you a disservice if I give you an answer. The way I play, I'm the wrong analyst to ask player A or player B, especially when you're pulling those players from the third round of the rookie draft or a flat ass tier in wide receiver 40 to 60 range. Who cares? And that's going to be my answer. And I sometimes am short with people, kind of like, it doesn't matter. Who do you like better? Jane, who do you like better between, Mike Williams and Cortland Sutton? Who do you like more? The point is, if you probably are asking me, and this is just human psychology, you're asking me, you already know your answer. You want me to answer. So if I say something different than you think about it again. But if I say what you want to say or you want me to say, you go make the move. But I bet you already have the answer. You already know what you want to do. You just want somebody else to tell you, go ahead and do it. So I think just as much context as possible, whatever you think is relevant to the question. But certainly the number of starters and the format and the scoring, like it's mandatory to ask that.
Because again, when you don't, I'm basing it off of what I play in. All right, I assume this is a super flex. What did I just say? My favorite settings are, right? It's a super flex. It's 12 to 14. And I'm assuming you're playing with a bunch of like sharps. I don't want to say that.
Okay.
That's a terrible, stupid analyst word. I apologize.
So all right, appreciate that super chat. And we were talking right there about, hey, you got to give us every single detail. With that being said, with super chats, we appreciate all the generosity. If we could limit like the 3-parters a bit. I know if you pay more for a super chat, like if you super chat $20, for example, I know you have a higher character limit because I super chat other people. But if you could just try to keep it tight, what is it, like knocked up? Just tighten it up a little bit. Just tighten it up. That would be helpful. Guys, better for the listening and viewing experience of others. That's honestly what it is. I mean,
and so I know everyone just assumes that. Everyone just assumes I'm spacing out just to space out, but I'm not. I'm searching for the other 37 parts of the question to make sure that we don't get it, that we don't miss it, and that I got it in the proper order. So when Clay gets it up, he's not combining questions. Anywho, sorry.
Yeah, he does a lot of work. We haven't automated him out yet. So Corey, thank you for the super chat, man. 1 of 2, 10-team, start 11, Superflex, 30-man rosters. Despite my protests, my league decided to include defense and kicker in our startup of Dynasty newbies. Too much fear of the unknown format. Still 11 position starters plus 1 defense and special teams. Convince them to treat it as a redraft position, dropping all defense and special teams at the end of the season and including them in an expanded rookie draft. Any potential problems with this or okay compromise? I think it's great. And I think it's great. I mean, if that's going to be the compromise, what's nice is it's like it's a little bit less than having a defense in your dynasty league. You know, like you don't want a defense to be part of your dynasty league, but it's like a little bit less. It's like defense light. So like whatever. If it's going to make a few people happy, at least it is a start 11, right? If it's a 10 team, you could make it a start 12 with that defense. Like, what do you guys think about that? You should start deeper and then you can always tighten it up, right? Like it's easier to reduce the number of starters than increase, correct? Like, should he start with a 10 team start 11? Or
Listen,
start 12?
you're like dipping the tip in here, but you're afraid to go all in. If you want to play with defenses in your dynasty league, I'm in 2 leagues with DSTs. They're super deep. The scoring is juiced. They don't hit waivers. The team that hoards 4, you know what? You're not getting them. You have to make the scoring so that they matter. I guarantee if you look at this, they're scoring 8 to 10 points a game. Who gives a shit?
Right.
Drop them off.
It's like redraft. It's like redraft scoring too. Like Yahoo. Like what
juice the scoring up. Juice the scoring up. Make it a 12-team league. And then if you make them valuable enough, they don't go back in the draft. If somebody wants to hoard 5 of them, and there's none available, oh well, they become a trade commodity at that point. Like I bring some real value to them if you're going to put them in there. If you're just going to drop them every year and then you're going to have them score less than your last flex, what's the point? What is the point of having them? I would never value them. I'll pick one, I'll stream, and I'll cut them. Who cares? They're useless.
Yep. All right, look, you got start 11. That's all that matters. It's not taking up a valuable or real spot from a person. At some point, I'm going to lose 1 week because we have a defense in this league, but I can live with it if that's the compromise.
And you know what? Instead of doing the juicing of the defensive scoring, the risk of that is that it'll stick around. Just sabotage it. Don't try to make it better. And then once you guys start playing, you'll realize like this defense thing is like totally unnecessary. Let's have an extra flex. Okay. So that's what I think we should do. Let's not make defense better. Charlie, thank you for your super chat as always, sir. So the hashtag for his super chat tonight is Hammer Drunk. You know the squad. Superflex running backs are Henry, Najee, Sanders. QBs Allen, Watson, AR-15. Wide receivers Garrett Wilson, DK, Devontae Smith, Olave, Ridley, Flowers. It's a start 9. Saquon owner spoke up. It's a 10 team. Ridley and Sanders. Flowers plus what's not dumb to offer for Barkley. Okay. So he wants to make an offer for Barkley. That's his squad. What are you doing? Charlie, it was decent. Charlie, I'll give you like a 7.2.
Wait, so he thinks
on your grammar.
All right. So if you're offering Charlie, just so you know, we're going to be in a league together. We are in a league together now. So if you offer me Ridley and Sanders for Barkley, I'm going to shame you, make fun of you, and kick you out of the league because I'm actually the commissioner. So I can throw you out of the league for that as soon as Clay gives me the abilities to do so. Never going to happen. Ridley and Sanders would not be enough. No. If I'm the Barkley owner and it's start 9, I can't even wrap my head around start 9. You'd have to start with like DK and Sanders at a minimum.
I mean, it's 10 times 9 is 90. Divide that by 12. You're looking at somewhere around 7.5. Like it's a super, super, super shallow 10-team league, right? Even shallower if you made it a 12-team league. Like get the hammer. Like his question, is it too much, too little? You know, it's throw as much as you can. It's just 10 teams start 9. And if I'm the Saquon manager at the same time, he's probably going, oh man, what if he holds out? You know, what if he's not good this year? Like he's probably a little worried. But does he really want to break Saquon up into 3 pieces?
No.
So I mean, again, why do we not play in these types of leagues? Because you immediately look at that league. If I had Saquon, I'd be like, I want another hammer. And the other person would go, why would I give you an equal hammer to Saquon when I'm taking on all the risk? It just makes no sense.
Cole, thank you for the super chat. 12-team PPR, 1 QB, no tight end premium, start 8. Quarterbacks, Lawrence and Stafford. Running backs, Brees, Etienne, Gibbs, Dillon, Swift. Wide receivers, Garrett Wilson, Waddle, Deontay, Ridley, Jamo, Dotson. Tight ends, Njoku, Bellinger. Contender moves. What do you guys think?
12 one quarterback start 8. Lawrence and
One
Stafford.
QB.
One QB.
One QB start 8, Shane.
Dylan, Swift, Wilson, Cedric Wilson, Garrett Wilson, probably.
Shane, do we have enough ceiling at QB here?
Don't have enough. The tight end. The tight end is a big issue in a start 8. Like you're not stacked. It's one thing if Njoku, if you had Deshaun Watson too as a potential stack, right, Scott? That's a huge.
I mean, it's
a huge vacancy.
The shallower the starters, the bigger the positional advantage is if you get them at one of those 8 spots. So yes, you are basically streaming tight end versus probably the 3 or 4 other teams that have the stud tight ends, and you're losing 5 to 8 points per game in a start 8. So you have to make up with that in the other 7 spots. Then you quickly look at your QBs and you go, man, what? Just put Lamar and Andrews on a team here, right? They're beating your Lawrence and Njoku by probably 10 to 12 points per game. So your other 6 starters better be 10 to 15% better than every other starter he has. Now, he has good starters. He has Waddle, Garrett Wilson, Gibbs, Brees, ETN. But I don't feel like, oh, man, his team is so stacked he can make up for a good quarterback, not a great one, a decent tight end, not a great one. So I think you probably either pay up to try to upgrade quarterback and tight end and just go for your pure points, or you just got to keep accumulating talent and hope you can hit on more studs.
That's what you guys have said in the past with one QB. Sometimes that can be a little bit misleading. People are like, oh, QB doesn't matter in a one QB, but the ways to differentiate yourself at a value are at QB and tight end is how you can make a difference.
Oh,
right. You guys say that in roster reviews all the time. It's like, oh, people aren't going to worry about, not Jalen Hurts, but let's pick like Justin Fields in a one QB, someone who can put up some ridiculous weeks, like get you some Justin Fields and have Lamar Jackson or Travis Kelce. And that makes a huge difference in a shallow one QB. Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty. Thank you, Cole. Appreciate that. Hopefully we helped you out a bit there. Let's go to Connor here. Connor says, love the channel, fellas. Thank you, sir. Any tips on convincing my buddies on Superflex? It's our first year, so I think Superflex intimidates some guys. Most of the pushback is coming from 2 that are saying Superflex devalues all the other positions and takes the strategy out of fantasy. Any rebuttals will help. Super chats inbound once y'all help me take home a ring.
So here's my thing, right? I get the convincing, but do I really want to convince someone? Like, so let's say you have a girlfriend or a wife, and you want to try something to bed, but you have to convince her. She's going to do it reluctantly. It's not going to be very good. She's purposely going to sabotage it, or him, whichever. And you're going to hear him bitching the entire fucking time. I'd rather just go, you know what? I'm going to go find people that are like-minded, like myself, that are evolved, and go play with them.
Scott, I have many thoughts on this as well, but go ahead.
I wasn't thinking that was going to be the comparison that Shane went to, but he went there. I could just put the exact quote that he said right back on him, like taking the quarterbacks out takes away the strategy of, okay, great. Quarterbacks don't matter. I'm guessing if you're not doing Superflex, your tight end premium is non-existent. So it's just tight ends don't matter. It's basically who can pick the best running backs and receivers, right? Which a lot of times the running back part comes down to who doesn't get injured, who's around during the right weeks. Receivers are, you can just see where, because we're all in these leagues, we're all in these home leagues where it's 10 teams start 9. They won't go any shallow. They won't go any deeper. They won't expand to Superflex. So then even in those leagues, the receivers come down to, okay, what receiver goes off for 38 points in a given week, right? And then another guy only goes for 10. So you are devaluing all strategy. And when you're in those leagues, so the Superflex literally brings a whole nother position into it versus I don't understand. There takes all the strategy out. I just can't wrap my head around how that's true. It's the opposite.
It is the opposite. And there are different ways to build too. It's not like, we're always talking about trying to get 2 elite QBs by making a big old move in a startup, big moves. And they're acting like if you do that, then boom, you just won the championship for years. No, because you might have done it in an inefficient fashion, and now your team sucks. You got a bunch of trash cans and holes, and you gave away all your firsts. So isn't it nice when you're in a rookie draft to have more than the first 3 picks matter?
Yes.
Right.
Beautiful thing.
I mean,
Like,
what was it?
this-
Bijan,
Mhm.
Gibbs, JSN, and was there anybody else in a 1 QB that I'm forgetting?
Before the NFL draft, Charb. Oh, Charbonnet looked really good before the NFL draft. After the NFL draft,
and you know what's funny is you include JSN in there, but you're kind of hoping he actually gets the difference rate. He's valued there in Dynasty, but to sit there and go, oh, he's just a clear difference maker. Yeah, it's nice to get him, but yeah,
in a 1 QB, which is normally start 8 or 9, JSN is like hopefully not going to be in a championship lineup. Hopefully he's like your first bench guy. In other words, like a strong. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Play what you want to play. If you like 1 QB, you've tried Superflex, haven't enjoyed it, whatever. Do your thing. Just try to make the league as active as possible by looking at things like the size of your benches, total roster amounts. Just make sure it's an active market. If it's dead, it's not like the people in your league are dead. The settings may be all wonky. So I'm talking too much. Where's Noah? Does Noah still watch this show? Noah, jump into the show. Yeah, he's gone. Mike Gardner, though, that's his name, right? He says we're still his favorite Dynasty channel. I haven't heard from him in a while. He did buy us some coffees and say we're good to go. We've kind of like Sharpied it in, but let's go to this one. Jacob, best ball underdog question, not Dynasty. I apologize. Oh, it's all good, man. Do you guys know if it's mathematically smarter to draft in a tournament or in a normal 12-person draft? So definitely in a big tournament. It's just like the lottery. Pot odds is
so what I've heard.
My answer would be right there. I want it to be a big tournament.
Yeah, what I've heard a lot of the smarter people that play this say you have to play the lower stakes, like 50-50 games, where you're winning like 60%, but you're turning a profit every time you play. Whatever. It's Scott. Yeah.
Is he talking about a big win? What? Is he? Yeah, exactly. Is he talking about a big win or just like a little trickle of like $20
here's
a week?
Here's the reality. If you're entering like BBM4, right, which is the big tournament, I believe there's 674,000 entries that are going to be available. The most you can enter is 150. Do the math. That's like saying, okay, the Powerball's at like $1.1 billion and I'm going to buy 200 tickets instead of 1. The reality of you winning on 200 tickets versus 1 is almost no difference. So you're kind of just wasting an extra $199 if you actually want to run your odds of winning. Me personally, if my goal is to win the most money, I'm actually doing the higher stakes games, right? Like I'm playing in the Bulldogs, which are $500 entries. There's only 432 teams.
Yeah.
So now does everyone have $500 to enter? No, but I'm going to try to do 6 of those. That's 6 out of 432. Now, what are the odds I end up losing $3,000? Probably pretty high.
Pretty solid.
But my chances of winning are literally 6 out of 32 versus 1 and if you're not going to max enter Best Ball Mania 4, if you're going to do 2 out of 674,000,
it's like going to a poker table and you're short stacked right off the bat. You just buy in for the minimum 100 and you've got
it depends on your goal.
Big stacks at the table.
If your goal is to turn a profit, like win money, if you do 2 entries into the underdog Best Ball Mania 4, the odds that your 2 teams don't literally have, like there's a chance that someone else has basically the same team already in the tournament.
Yeah,
as you. Like that's a higher odd that someone else has the exact same roster or a very, very similar team than you actually winning money. So it depends on your goal. I would say if you have more money to put in, I would try I want the smaller fields where I think I can differentiate myself a little bit more.
So let's put this one up here. Johnny Sung. Thank you for the super chat. He says, me again, back with another startup. Well, good for you. Staying busy. 12 teams, start 11, Superflex, PPR, tight end premium with pick 12. traded the 112, 301 for the 102 and 1002. 4 other managers traded up for a second QB, so I was unable to secure the second QB myself. Also noticed 6 to 8 contenders being built, so decided to zag and go rebuild. Traded back on my 201 multiple times until I got back to 311 and took Young. Targeted year 2 to 3 breakouts for year 2 run. QBs Allen, Young, Purdy. Wide receivers Watson, Dotson, Ayuk, Bateman, Wandale. RBs Khalil Herbert and Trash. Tight ends, of course, Chig, Dulcich, and Juwan. 424 first. Good. Was hoping there was going to be at least 3. 424 first, 4 seconds, 2/3. Wondering if I made the right decision or not. Appreciate any guidance. Okay, so the goal was to zag and to go rebuild. So when you do that, you want to make sure you're good at QB and that you also acquire first. 24 first. He got 4 of those, and then QB wise, he's Josh Allen and Bryce Young. Boys,
and 424 first.
That's what I said.
Yeah, he did good. He did good. And look, and even look, Watson, Dotson. I'm not particularly high on Dotson, but whatever. These are young wide receivers that are ascending assets, that can be ascending assets, and Ayuk too. Yeah, I like this. You did well. Look, you might not be good this year because you're Young, who's just Young is the second quarterback, right? He might not be gangbusters in his rookie season. He won't be the first rookie quarterback that doesn't come out on fire, but long term, that's a nice build.
He's not trying to win. He kind of hopes Bryce Young doesn't do a damn thing this year, but yeah.
I think the only problem is it is hard to really tank with Josh Allen on your team, especially in this format. But listen, you were dealt a bad hand, right? Sometimes you start in life, you get dealt a bad hand, and he got dealt the 112. Yeah. So, I mean, you were able to move up fairly cheaply, I think, because you didn't have to give up any future picks. You essentially just moved basically your third for a 10th, and you moved that far up. 112, you might not even have gotten the quarterback, so you would have had to build a little bit differently. So at least you have that anchor quarterback. You have the 4 firsts. If those first hit in the right spot, you're looking at quarterback riches potentially next year. Plus, you already have Bryce Young and Josh Allen. So I like it. That is kind of the definition of the productive struggle, though. Like, that team's probably not going to win because you listed your skill players, and there's just really not. It's a nice sandwich, but it's just not. There's not very much in between. So you know what it sounds like? Let it build.
It sounds like, though, where he was like, he noticed that there was 6 to 8 contenders. So I wonder if the room was a little bit like hyped up. Everybody was like, oh, been picking up like, hey, I want to win now, contender teams. What's nice is when you have those 424 firsts, all of a sudden there's not 6 to 8 contenders. Let's be honest. Within a few weeks, you see maybe 3. So anyway, he's got leverage and he still has assets to blow it up more if he wanted to. Okay, let's move on here. Talking too much. Dark Dookie, thank you for the super chat. Wanted to give a huge shout out to the guys. Received a roster review and it was beyond worth it. Greatest Dynasty podcast out there. Thanks, fellas. If you're thinking about getting a roster review, do it. You won't regret it. Yeah, so we'll talk about roster reviews towards the end of the stream. Some stuff to talk about in that regard. A couple hands to slap. No, I'm kidding. No, slap your hands. Spock, thank you for the super chat. Next move, 12-team Superflex, start 9, standard scoring, no tight end premium. QBs are Fields, Murray, Carr. Running backs, Saquon, Akers. Wide receivers, Chase, Waddle, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Deontay, Cooper. Tight end is Dulcich. Draft capital 105, and he's got Gibbs in parentheses, so he's already made that decision, and the 210. What's the next move here? So he says standard scoring. Do you think he just means, though, like that it's PPR? Like there's nothing crazy. It's just like a PPR. I doubt it's standard non-PPR. So let's go with that. It's just a run-of-the-mill PPR. Start 9, 12-team.
I mean, next moves. Can I upgrade? Because it's only start 9. Can I upgrade from Akers? Can I use Deontay Johnson and Akers and get me an actual hammer? And can I get a tight end that can start? Because Dulcich, I mean, look, I know it's start 9. It's no tight end premium. But I want a tight end that can give me some ceiling week to week, and I don't believe that's Dulcich.
I mean, he got Gibbs at 105, right? Or he thinks he's going to get Gibbs at 105.
Yeah.
The tight ends, they're meaningless here. You either get a good one or you get another one. There's really no in between. So if you get another Dulcich, cool, you can platoon them. They're going to both probably be average. You're going to have to guess every single week. But I think next move, like that's a team that's probably a playoff team based on what he has. It's a start 9. He has enough hammers. Now it's just, when do you want to decide to go in with any future capital that you have or any pivots where you can pick up extra capital to use later. But it's a pretty good team.
For sure. Is this this is Adam, right?
So Adam,
Guys,
shout out.
Shout out, man. We were hoping to have him on as a guest on the super stream this Saturday. He was unable to make it, but hey, appreciate the super chat, man. He says, "Great work, fellas." We will, we'll do a show coming up soon, I'm sure. He's in the same boat. He's in the same boat as I am. He's like, dude, I have all of this to do. He's asking about our editor, and I was like, listen, I'm trying to own every single minute that our current editor can spend editing stuff. I was like, I'm gonna have to find another one too, which is the truth. So Adam and I are both on the hunt for assistance.
And let me give him a shout out, because South Harmon Fantasy, check out their YouTube channel, check out their Patreon. I don't even know what he said about it, but we have a really cool thing him and I are going to be collaborating on coming up.
Oh, is that going to be what we talked about yesterday?
No, you guys don't even know about it.
YouTube?
Nope. You don't even know about it. No one knows about it except for him. So I'm just putting it out there.
Why don't you clue me in? I clued you into a cool idea for a YouTube channel, and then you got these cool little side projects. Like one day, Scott is literally going to be like, "Hey guys, I'm doing some big things with DD, and I think." I don't know what we're going to do with trades in 5. And then he's going to start smashing me for my performance. And Shane, he'll be like, Shane, you still talk like shit. Like, no, I'm kidding.
All I'm saying is Adam and I are going to collaborate on something that people will really like. If you are a degenerate and you really like diving into roster construction and warp, you will like what we're going to do. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, and real quick, Spock chimed in. Yes, standard equals no PPR. So it's an old school actual standard league.
So Gibbs definitely then. You have to go running back, obviously. How is Gibbs going to make it to 105? Superflex?
I mean, honestly, I kind of want to move off Gibbs if I have the 105. Can I trade that for a veteran?
In a standard, yeah.
Yeah,
get freaking Derrick Henry. Get Derrick Henry if you're a contender.
Gibbs is a PPR back. Like, if I have to take him, obviously I will, but he's not a standard back. Like, that's not where he's going to really make his money, I don't believe. All right, well, Clay left.
Okay, sorry. No. I was looking for the monitor.
He's like drifting over. You don't even know where he's going.
Just leaving.
No, so we'll talk about this later. But I've got my office dialed in right now, thanks to a former boss and current and forever friend, Joey Cheese Sticks. Thank you very much for the super chat, man. Cheers, guys. He says 12-team Superflex PPR start 10 was offered 25 first Bridgewater and the 307 for Russ Wilson, QB3. Also, is Ayuk and a 24 second enough for Higgins? Feels gross.
No, I'm not moving Ayuk or Higgins for that.
It's just not worth it. There needs to be more stuff going on. That's just unnecessary. That's trading to trade. If I can get T for that, I do it. It's a start 10. If it were a start 11 or 12, give me Ayuk.
So I'll say this about the Bridgewater 307 for Russ and the 25 first with those two plus Russ. That's one of those where I kind of like making that move. Pure process. If I have a QB3 and I'm comfortable with my top 2, if I can cash out on my QB3 and buy a cheaper replacement, can I go buy like Jimmy Garoppolo? Can I send like a late second and the 307 for Jimmy Garoppolo? Something like that. Like, can I go buy a cheap ass QB3, take the first for Russ? Then it maybe gives me the ability to do some process deals. Otherwise, I'd still take the Higgins side, but I kind of like the liquidation part on the Russ deal there. Just getting the first, walking away.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I mean, just give me a first for Russ. That's all it takes. Like, there's no, that's not rocket science. He sucks. If I can get a first and get out of him, awesome. Bye. I honestly, they can hold on to Teddy Bridgewater. I'd rather have another third than Teddy Bridgewater.
Shane's like, you put him in, that's negative value in the trade.
I've rejected the trade just because you added him.
Honestly, that's a thing though. Like that's totally a thing. If you try to buy, when people send you a trade, and obviously they're just trying to get that player for a 24 first, but then they do something stupid and like attach Tim Patrick to a 24 first for like T Higgins or whatever. You basically make it clear that you're offering them a bad trade and you're going to throw in a little bit of garbage. It just throws up the red flags. All right. Just a little bit of psychology there. Gnome Child, thank you for the super chat. $5.69. You're going to have to explain that one to us, because after YouTube takes their 45% cut, it's the 69. That's what it is. Dynasty Trades in 569. 12-team PPR, Superflex, start 10. Can I compete with Cousins, Carr at QB, or do I need to trade up? Assets are CMC, ETN, Foreman, P. Ryan. Devontae, Allen, Cooper, Kirk, Deontay, Kelsey, Andrews, Ingram, 224 seconds, all 25s. Don't see anything about a tight end premium, but he still does have 2 positional advantage tight ends in Kelsey and Andrews. That's not a competing team, man. Well, I mean, CMC is a freaking, he's a bomb that could put you as a contender on his own. But
I mean, here's the problem. You look at his receivers.
He's not there.
He has no choice with Kelsey, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams. Like you know what you probably need?
Kirk. Can't sell any.
You need another Kirk Cousins. You need to have 3 of them. You need to always have an option. You cannot afford to have any week where you go, oh man, I don't really like Derek Carr's matchup this week, so I want to play somebody else. You need a third. It's a different QB build. I would love to tier up, but Shane knows you have Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr. You're not tiering up. You're just not. You're not tiering up.
Yeah, neither of those guys are going to like sweeten the pot for me. The only way Kirk Cousins sweetens the pot is like if I'm moving off a quarterback and I need to get another one. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're probably not going to be. I'm not going to give you Jalen Hurts for Kirk Cousins and Derek Carr and a first. Like, it's not going to happen.
Yep.
Right. Okay. I just turned off the super chats. Thank you very much to everyone who gave them to us. Let's keep moving here. Let me move these Gnome Child ones. Thank you for that super chat. Let's go to Chris here. Best content on the platform. Appreciate all you guys do. Can't wait for Saturday. Summer school. What are we doing with JMO? Wills in June. Okay. What are we doing with Jamison I got
Jamison Williams.
What are we doing with Jamison Williams in June on a rebuilder / 1 year punt? Spam every owner for a future first.
Yeah,
get a 24 first. I mean, and then just take the day off. Maybe play some golf. Maybe bump up your bourbon instead of going like, Evan Williams, Green Label, whatever the hell it is. Get yourself some Woodford. You can sell JMO for a 24 first. Get yourself a bottle of Woodford.
Spam everyone in your league for 24 first. I spammed everyone in my league. I had him in one league for 25 firsts. And then someone countered a 24 first for him and Kadarius Toney. And I was like, all right, that's Christmas. That's close enough. But yeah, just spam the league and try to get a first out of him.
Here's the problem. Good luck getting the first now. You've waited too long. You should have been doing it when Shane was saying he was a sell back in March when he was quote unquote like back, ready to go.
Yeah, but
he's got such a cult following though. It's just like there's always a Steelers fan in your dynasty league. There's a JMO freaking truther.
Yeah, I mean, I just did that last week. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's not the greatest time to do it. Like, obviously, you should have done it when I told you to do it in the first place because I knew what I was talking about. But it doesn't hurt to try it now. I mean, like I said, you might end up having to take a 25 first, but that's fine.
And I can see why someone would give a 24 first, especially if they want to bet against that first. I can see why they'd give it for JMO and Kadarius Toney.
They're going.
I think you're
upside.
settling by. I get why you're doing that deal, but I think the timing on the JMO deal that you should have listened to Shane 3 months ago and sold him when people wanted him, because now, oh man, this is a little questionable at this point.
Yeah, but you know,
bygones be bygones. It is June. You got to figure. You got to answer the question now.
Sipes always tells me this. He's always like, when I say things like that, I'm like, well, I told you to do that 3 months ago. And he's like, yeah, but I'm asking you today. So today, yes, you should still do that. You should still try to get out of JMO.
Send the offer. The worst they can do is tell you you're crazy for asking for it now.
Talk about crazy. You're like, send the offer. Yeah. Scott means it too. Scott will send any offer. It can be just hot garbage and he'll send it. Take, for example, Exhibit A today. This morning, I'm driving in traffic on my way to see said former boss. Again, we will get to that. But I look down at my phone and it says that Charles Chill FFB has sent me a trade offer. I know I'm just one of a spam list. Him like freaking with his auto accept shit. I look in my inbox and I have to give him a 24 third. But check it out. I am getting Pierre Strong from Scott Connor. If you play in leagues with Scott, you're gonna how many offers did you send out today? 75, 80?
In the last 5 days, I've sent out over 500 offers for Pierre Strong, Kevin Harris, Dwayne McBride, and Ty Chandler, and I've actually gotten 6 deals done. So that's called dynasty grinding. No, Shane traded me 2/3 for Aiden O'Connell, so that was another one that I was able to get.
You for Pierre
Strong. that one was.
Which league did you trade me for Pierre Strong?
The same fucking league.
Oh, I didn't even see that one yet. So good for me.
Yeah, look, if you're going to sell Pierre Strong for a third, whatever. All I have is upside there. I'll get a second for him if I need to. So, look, a third is fucking useless in and of itself. I know I tell people to throw them in, get them in deals. In and of itself, a third is useless. If you have to make that pick, which guess what? You are forced to make that pick a lot more than Scott would like. I know Scott is like, I'll just trade it. No one wants it. Dude, the hit rate on that is negative. It's negative. It's actually negative. Yes, it is.
This particular league economy. No. Well,
what do you think the hit rate is on a third?
No, it sucks. It's probably like 4 to 7% or something. Like stupid.
Clay, I have failed if I make those thirds. I'm looking for points that I can buy at a later time when I'm not sure it's Pierre Strong.
You know what's going to happen?
Somebody else.
You know what's going to happen? You're going to be looking for points.
You're going to buy a spot start from Pierre Strong.
You're going to try to get Pierre Strong off me, and I'm going to be like, I need a second, bro. Anywho, we've got like
Justin Gray. Yeah, Justin Gray, thank you for the super chat and appreciate those previous kind words. Was it Chris? I think it was Chris for that super chat. 12 teams, start 9. Only weakness is running back room consisting of Bijan, Rashad White, and Dillon. As a contender, thoughts dealing Addison and Dillon for Dobbins or Stevenson? Who do we like more between the two? Fist bumps.
Justin, I don't know your whole roster, but I guarantee you your weak spot isn't running back. It is probably roster construction, which means you don't have enough running backs and you don't have enough extra running backs on your team that can make up for the fact that Rashad White and AJ Dillon are probably RB2s, RB3s, and they need a little luck to be probably what you want them to be. But I look at this running back room and I go, I'm fine with this running back room. The problem is I need to see the rest of your roster. Hopefully it has kind of high-end players everywhere else, and then every bench spot is a running back. If so, you do not need to make this deal.
Okay.
Are you making this deal, Shane? Are you making this deal of Jordan Addison and AJ Dillon for J.K. Dobbins and Ramondre Stevenson in June?
No. I mean, the most valuable piece to me is Addison. So, no. Dillon's worthless. So at least you get 2 starting running backs. But no, I'm fine.
No, you only get one. You only get one.
Both?
You're paying the running back. You're paying the tax. Yes.
Oh, this is even worse. No.
You're paying the Justin. Your running backs aren't good enough because you don't have 8 studs. You're paying that tax. So no, I'm
never
not
mind.
doing that.
Never mind. No, not at all. Sorry, bro.
No, don't do it. Thank you for the super chat, Justin. Let's go to this one right here. Niti, thank you for the super chat. 10 team, 1 QB, half PPR, start 8. QB, Deshaun Watson, Bryce Young. Running backs, Rashad White, B-Rob, Khalil Mitchell. Wide receivers, Christian Watson, JSN, Keenan Allen, Jacoby Myers, Elijah Moore. and Pierce. Alec Pierce makes a move there. Shane, you sent me a great DK Metcalf Alec Pierce trade the other day. Just like I said, like you attaching Alec Pierce to something. Like
Alec Pierce
fucking Shane.
had over
like
500 receiving yards as a rookie.
Hey, I like him. I like him, but come on. That ruined the chance of a trade. Tight ends and Njoku and Kincaid have 224 firsts and seconds. Moves?
Pray. I think this team is just stuck in the middle. I don't know where you drafted Dalton Kincaid, but I don't know why you did. Would have rather moved whatever you use that asset on for something else. It's a start 8. I know it's a 16 team, so probably good players are hard to come by. And some of these guys, we look and we go, oh man, Elijah Moore, Jacoby Myers. Like they're probably going to crack lineups in a start 8, right? If you just do the math, like it's probably still a moderately deep league, even though it's start 8 because it's 16
128
teams.
Starters, just off the top of my head.
Yes, you're correct, Shane. You're correct.
I know.
Did you actually do that in your head, or?
Yeah, by the power of a calculator.
It's a 12 team start 10, 12 team start 11 equivalent. It's right in between the two. So this is an average team. You don't have enough hammers. Your quarterback isn't a hammer. Your tight end's definitely not a hammer. So what are we doing here? What are we doing? What's the plan? You going for it or not with this roster? All he has is his first and a second. Because the problem is his first and a second in a 16 team could be 109 and 209, which is in a non-tight end premium, non-super flex. So
and as a half PPR. Sorry, I hid the thing and unstarted, I believe. But no, I'm not going for it with that that team.
Let me just say this: 16 teamers. If I'm stuck in the middle, those are the leagues I'll just bet against my picks. Especially in leagues where there's not different premiums. So trade them away, see if you can get it.
Real quick, Kyle Bonanza says, not Dynasty related, but I'm in the woodworking. Would you guys be interested if I made you hammers with 5 low units for y'all?
Yes.
God
what?
Darn, yes, I would, Kyle Bonanza.
Somebody write down the timestamp here. It's 1 hour 11 minutes into this stream. Kyle Balzana. Shane's gonna call him Kyle Bonanza. Is gonna make us some freaking hammers. Dude, I love it. Yeah, man, that would be dope. That would be fun. All right. Let's keep going here. Let's go to Gnome Child. There was a 3 of 2. Also had Charbonnet. Okay.
Yeah, if you're gonna real quick, I have enough trouble following along with 1 of 3. If you're gonna go the wrong way with it, like 3 of 2,
look at what he did. Look at what Gnome Child. Look what Gnome Child tried to pull on Shane here. Whoops, forgot I also have Charbonnet. See, like ChatGPT wouldn't have a problem with this, Shane.
I think sometimes people are trying to see if they can cause me to have a seizure, so they do things like this, where they put the numbers wrong, like 3 divided by 2, and they just want to see what happens. Not cool. Kyle Banana Hammer. That's hilarious.
The banana hammer, the banana hammock.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Listen to the Shane snort. No, that's great. But thank you for the extra $1.99, Gnome Child. Boy. We've got 334 strong in here. Again, if you wouldn't mind, look down, hit that little thumbs up, give us a like. We'd appreciate that. So stoked for the super stream, man. Okay, let's go to Brian Miller here. Thank you very much. Hey guys, love the channel. 12 team, 1 QB, moving to Superflex after the 23 season. It's a half PPR. QBs, Lance Purdy. Running backs, B-Rob, nothing else really. Wide receivers, Judy, Christian Watson, Tony. Also Juju. Tight ends, Ingram, Komet, earn the 101, have the 104, 5, 224 first. Offered the 101 and Judy for the 106, Burks, Elijah Moore, a late 24 second, and a 25 first. Okay, let me look at the 3 for 3. Plan on taking Addison, A. Rich, Johnston, or Young. Let's just talk about that trade here. Okay, so here's the problem. We don't have the amount of starters. It's a 12 team 1 QB moving to Superflex. Okay, no, because you're getting a bunch of stuff.
Dude, that trade is awful.
You can tell. I guarantee it's a.
Oh, wait,
I guarantee it's a shallow. What's up?
Go back to the actual trade. Sorry, he got offered the 101 and Judy for the 106. Burks, Elijah Moore. Wait, so he's giving up?
I'm giving up.
Burks, Elijah Moore, 24. Wait, it says he earned the 101, offered the 101 and Judy. All right, whatever side's getting the 101,
no,
just stay there.
He's got the he earned the 101. So he's talking about giving the 101 and Judy for 106 Burks. Don't do that.
That's awful.
No way.
So here's the reality. His team sucks. It's moving to Superflex next year. So I'm treating this like a Superflex draft. So I'm building around like it's a Superflex team. The team is awful. Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, and Brian Robinson are my best players. So you're going to have the 101 next year. So it's got to be a deal where if I'm moving the 101, this is the definite, this not ready for Bijan. But I'm okay giving somebody that is ready for Bijan a deal that helps me in Superflex next year, especially if the league's going to devalue Superflex stuff for another 12 months. Now, this trade isn't helping you at all. Sure, you're getting the 106, but you're still giving away Jerry Jeudy for Treylon Burks. Don't even care about that. That's an even swap. So it's almost like, you know, where can he get guys like he thinks he's getting Anthony Richardson at 104 through 106? Maybe if that's where he's going to go, then fine. I'd be willing to try to get another deal where I get more of those picks for next year because I'm probably not caring about this year. But this year, you got to get more for the 101. Yeah, those extra, the 6 for 2 isn't going to fly.
When 5 of the pieces are just trash. Like literal, like just he emptied out. It's a garage sale. And he is like, no. Like, I understand that you might think this is trash, but actually it's very useful things that remind me of my past. Will you please buy them? No. Throw them out. That's garbage.
Yeah, we were a little hardcore there, Brian. I don't know why we got like testy during that one, but let me ask you this one. Maybe we didn't, but let me ask you this. In his position, if he were unable to trade and he had to make that pick from the 101 with that team and the fact that it's moving to Superflex next year, you go in Anthony Richardson at 101 over Bijan if you're forced to make that pick.
So, I mean, here, the only thing I'd have to weigh is that he almost felt like he was getting Anthony Richardson at the 4 and the 5. So is the league going, there's probably somebody in the league that's going, it's not Superflex yet. They already have a good quarterback. They're going to take Jahmyr Gibbs. They're going to take Bijan over the quarterbacks, and it's not even going to be a question. So I'd be fine taking Bijan if there's another deal that can come up, given the Superflex component. I think that's the biggest thing. It doesn't sound like his league is going to offer him the value that he's going to need for Bijan, but it's almost like it's a 1 QB league right now. So they should be offering him more, and they're not. I'd be willing to concede that it's not Superflex yet because my team isn't contending, but it just seems like he's just getting garbage offers. So in that case, I mean, you take either Richardson at the 101 or you just take Bijan. If you're going to get Richardson at 104, then take Bijan.
Yeah, no, I'm taking Bijan.
All right, let's go to this one right here from Charlie. Thank you for the super chat. If I super chat 5 effed up team names, and Scott or Shane laugh, can I get a $27 discount on a 25 first from Clay? So here's the thing. Here's where that's coming from. We're trying to make a trade right now in the auction league that hasn't started. And I want the final number to involve a 27 because I have that tattooed on me. That's my lucky number. So Charlie's kind of like probably wants to make sure the feng shui is right in whatever room he's in. Think of that as a feng shui trade for me, getting a 27 as the thing. So he's asking about $5 super chat. YouTube takes 45%. No, that's not going to do it, Charlie. $5 super chat. You're going to have to super chat $50 and I'll give you a $27 discount.
No quid pro quo.
We don't have bylaws.
Watch him put in the 50 and Clay will do it.
All right. So
because he's got loot.
Some brown guy. One of 2. Yo guys. 12 team Superflex full PPR, half tight end premium. Or half point tight end premium, excuse me. Quarterbacks are Dak, Watson, Jimmy G, running backs, CMC, Pollard, Aaron Jones, Javonte, wide receivers, Digg, Cooper, Ridley, London, Burks, Bateman, Elijah Moore, tight ends, Kelsey, Waller, and Mayer, and 424 firsts. Love to see 24 firsts. Any longevity moves that I should make? Longevity moves.
Well, he violated the number one rule of saying how many starters there are, but I'm going to just assume it's 10. This give or take, right?
Yep.
I'll be fine moving a couple of these pieces. Can I get future capital for Elijah Moore? Can I get future capital for Burks, Bateman, Javonte Williams, Darren Waller, Michael Mayer? He's already got 424 firsts. I mean, this is the makings of a monster, especially if you can shed a couple of these extra pieces for even more draft capital. It's not going to hurt whether you win or not. What's going to help you win is Travis Kelce smashing, Christian McCaffrey smashing, Deshaun Watson smashing, Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs smashing. That's what's going to win it or lose it. So if you can sell the fringe pieces for future capital that gives you even more flexibility, I think that's the only thing you can really do here. He built a nice team.
Right, and having the 4 first really doesn't hurt. Real quick on Bateman, I don't know what you're going to be able to move for him since it just came out that he had a steroid injection into his foot today, the one that he had a Lisfranc surgery on. But yeah, I mean, I'm willing to move everything except my super studs, being Kelsey, CMC. Okay, everybody else is on the block.
Yeah. Thank you for that super chat, man. Okay, so I'm going to take this this quick opportunity while Shane is not too bad. We knocked through some super chats there. I got to tell you a quick story. So, because we've got our OGs in here, 359, and we're an hour and a half in. So, my old boss, Greg Cangelosi, I used to work at this Blue Sky Factory was the name of it. I sold email marketing software. So you get all that spam or whatever newsletters. There's an engine behind it that's pumping out that email. I sold that software. Anyway, we always said that we were going to work with one another again in the future. He sold that company. It was a small firm. I ended up bouncing after he left. He and his wife live near me in Baltimore, and she has this awesome freaking business. It's called So Botanical, and we're gonna start pitching this, and they're gonna make a freaking Dynasty Trades in 5 line for us. But it's all natural shit. It's just like Manscaped, but it's like high quality stuff. And she literally mixes in a certain amount of milligrams of CBD. It's all customized. We're going to have a freaking hammer, Chili Willy nut spray is what this is. It's like freaking Gold Bond. You put it on everything. We're going to have a hammer. We're going to have a squirt. There's vagina, or what do they call it? Pussy something or another. Dude, they're amazing products. I'm not even kidding. This calm your ass down room and linen spray. Where is it? I was walking around the house today, freaking spraying this everywhere. It smells delicious. And another thing about me too that I'll just throw in there, I'm always the guy who's making fun of people who believe in this kind of apothecary, this essential oils. Dude, I'm in, baby. And he happens to be my friend, and I like to help out small businesses. And yeah, they're just as cool as Manscaped. All right. So we're gonna have a deal with them, and we're gonna have a Dynasty Trades in 5 line. And trust me, this shit is dope. Actually, I'm gonna give out a Chili Willy nut dust here in a few minutes. I'm gonna do the setup thing, but let me get this up here for you guys. And if you guys could start,
Clay, you got it. We need a sponsor read with Shane saying that's it.
Oh no, yeah. Oh, trust me, we're gonna do a lot of things with them. They're good peoples. And okay. So I'm going to read this out, and then I'm going to get the StreamYard giveaway tool. So thank you for the super chat, Cheyenne. 12 team, 2 QB, start 10. QB room is Tua, Watson, and Danny Dimes. I have D-Hop, Olave, CD, Burks, Amari Cooper, and Tony. Going for it all. Traded Pittman and Bryce Young for Jamar Chase. What do you think?
I mean, it is 2 QB, so you did pay a quarterback, but I'm good on Pittman this year. He's 25. He's going to be a free agent. He's stuck in probably a low volume passing offense with a quarterback. His value is going to go down. I'm fine making this deal. Going for it. YOLO. You have 3 quarterbacks already. You add Chase to that receiver room. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I liked Pittman a lot more before JJ's actual recent has just ruined any thoughts that he might have a decent year or two in the next 2. I hate giving up Bryce Young, but you got Jamar Chase. You got the wide receiver 1 in Dynasty. Obviously, I want to see if I can upgrade at quarterback. Problem is I don't know that Tua or Danny Dimes can be used to do that. And quite frankly, Tua was the quarterback 8 in points per game last year. So really all he needs to do is just stay on the field. But yeah.
Okay, so let me move this off. I set up the giveaway. So what it is type in #hammer, singular, all lowercase, #hammer, HAMMER for the layperson. You only have to type it in one time, #hammer. And I'm going to be giving out a Chili Willy nut dust and something else too. Maybe a bath bomb, a CBD bath bomb that my kids did today. And I'm going to make a funny TikTok about it. Maybe my former boss just drugged my kids. No, there's no
wait,
drugs.
I'm sorry. Like, I'm not a good parent. Everyone knows that, right? I think that's the general consensus. Did you just say you give your kids edibles?
The CBD bath bomb.
That sounds not. I hope DHS is not watching this,
dude. They're sleeping like babies. They're sleeping
It's
like
CBD.
babies.
You're good.
No, it has zero THC. But anyway, okay, let's keep going here. Oh yeah, so giveaway tool #hammer. #hammer. Let's go to Alyssa. 12 team, 1 QB, start 8. Got offered 103 and 209 for Dalvin and Madison. I'm in the middle of the road team. Love you guys. And Shane, I haven't forgotten about our Olave versus Judy wager. Oh yeah,
I hope not. I already forgot about it, but I'm going to win it because Olave is significantly better than Judy. Start 8, 1 QB. Yeah, I'm moving off Dalvin Cook for this. I'm fine taking Jahmyr Gibbs or JSN, excuse me. And I'm not really buying the hype on Alexander Madison.
Yeah, this was we wanted to put a Madison Dalvin question in here. This is one that you just kind of liquidate, take the pick here. You could justify it. Both of them could potentially be starters in a start 8 even, but yeah, I'm good taking the picks. No question.
Okay. Let's keep on rolling here. Pedro the Lion, thank you for the super chat. 12 team Superflex, start 12. No market for love. More value to wait closer to the season. That's his third QB. Maybe take a chance, wait. Okay, let's see. Maybe take a chance, wait, really wait, win big if he can produce. I'm not a believer.
I don't wait till he produces, but I'm fine kind of waiting for the moment to strike. All he has to do is look okay in the preseason, let the preseason hype build up a little bit. He's got the starting job. He's going to get a leash for at least a season, probably 2, given that they signed him for his next year. So I'm not rushing, but if you don't believe in him, he is the perfect, if I can strike, if there's an injury to a quarterback, if there's a quarterback, pick whoever you might not like that start getting kind of devalued a little bit and see if you can get the pivot off because it's his third QB. It's a great spot if other people believe in him more to get some extra value out of, and I don't really care who my third QB is, especially in a start 12. If you can get a 2-for-1 or a nice leverage trade, I'm okay doing it.
Yeah,
start
12.
QB.
Yeah.
My third QB, I'm happy. I'm fine with letting him sit on my desk. I'm happy with letting him sit on my bench and mature in value and then move him later. Because if you can't get more than, say, I don't know, a mid-first, like, just hold on to him.
Let's go to Adam C here. Thank you for the super chat. 16 teams, start 8. Superflex PPR with a 0.75 tight end premium. So it's 1.75 for every tight end reception. It's a 0.25 point per carry. So every rush attempt is 0.25. And it's a 6 point per passing touchdown. In the startup now, I have Burrow, Watson, Andrews. I have the only 2 elite QB build. Only a few others have 2 QBs, period. Coming up on the 504, would you go QB again, Carr, Rodgers, Mac Jones, or start building my running backs, wide receivers? Debo, Judy, Dobbins, Swift still available. So it's a 6 point per passing touchdown. Don't take freaking Mac Jones right here. Like, just don't.
So remember
don't do that.
we were
trade back. Trade back.
Yeah, remember earlier we were talking about that flat tier where it gets to that point in the draft where you're like, I don't want any of these people. Like, I don't want any of these people. I'm definitely not taking Carr or Mac Jones. Debo's the only one I could probably talk myself into taking, but I'd probably just try to see if I could trade this pick for a 24 first.
16 teamer, just taking a quarterback. I'll keep taking them. There's a better chance I have better shots of moving one of them later. Here's the other thing. Is there a chance I can maybe draft Carr? Maybe they leave me too. I get Carr and Rodgers. It comes down to if you don't like what's on the board. I don't like anything on the board there.
Yeah.
So let me just take the extra QB. It's a 16 teamer. Maybe my expansion of what I can trade for later. Give me just the QBs. He already has the perfect start. Elite tight end, 2 elite quarterbacks, and a 16 teamer. I don't know how you got that. I don't know how you managed Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow, and Mark Andrews in a 16 teamer.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really.
And they're still not taking quarterbacks. So yeah, I'm just taking quarterbacks. You already have the frame of your roster. I'm just going to keep taking them.
Professor Chaos, real quick. Professor Chaos, you haven't been around for a while. I've noticed. But yeah, let's break 1,000 on Saturday, so I don't have to retire from Dynasty Trades in 5.
Yeah, let's definitely break 1,000. We can do it. We got to. I'm about to have some time to be able to start promoting this. Okay, so let's go to this one right here. Jow is what I'm gonna go for. I wonder what currency that is. R dollar sign.
Oh, that's Russian.
Yeah, that looks like a Russian name. Brees Hall or Miles Sanders. Oh man, Brees Hall or Miles Sanders in a first. Oh wait, real quick before you answer that, only 51 entries entered in Hammer for some freaking Chili Willy Nut Dust. Yes. Hammer, HAMMER. Dude, this is legit. I'll show you something else after that.
It's Brazilian.
Okay, so Brees Hall or Miles Sanders in a first, Scott. We don't have the format. Let's say it is
package. Doesn't even matter. Don't care about running backs.
No, yeah, it does though. No,
I'll take
Scott.
Brees
What
Hall.
if it's a 10 team? Difference. It's a 10 team, 1 QB start 8. Scott.
Okay, 10 team, 1 QB. I mean, there's very few formats it would not be the package. Put it that way. But you're right. We don't know for sure what the we don't know for sure what the format is, and that's why you have to give us the format. If it's any super flex with more than 10 starters, it's an automatic package. If it is super shallow 1 QB, then yeah, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm taking the Brees Hall because he's at worst a running back 2 in Dynasty, and he's going to put up one of those like elite running back seasons, not the like 19 points a game, which is good, but I'm talking like I'm expecting 25 and above from him. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to share my.
I don't know did you not watch him last year?
Do you realize how hard it is to score 25 points per game, Shane?
Yes. I'm putting him in that category. Yes. And Miles Sanders is barely starting.
God.
He's just whatever. Look, we can make the trade. I'll make the trade. You send the offer. It's done.
Okay, so I am going to stop the drawing. So #hammer for some Chili Willy Nut Dust. We're going to draw it. 59 people in here. Let me share my screen. Okay, share screen, giveaway tool for some Chili Willy Nut Dust. Draw. It is.
I hope it goes to a dude. Like not to be
Dynasty Trades in 5-1. I won. I typed in #hammer and we won it.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
You
do that again, please.
Reroll. Come on.
Reroll.
No, not only that, I'm gonna hit it 2 more times because we just wasted 30 seconds of people's time with us winning there. I've already got my Chili Willy Nut Dust. SRS Bergie. Congratulations. You have some nut dust coming your way. And you can use it on everything, apparently. Like, put it on wounds. Hilarious. So I'll send you that.
I still have no clue what he actually won, so we'll have to wait for Clay to put out the advertisement.
Dude, it's like Gold Bond, but this you can put on like everything. Here's the other one. Corey Williams. You also are going to win something. Either nut dust or this thing that I'm really pumped about because I have a torn rotator cuff. Let me stop sharing from pitching and I never fixed it. Can you help me out here, Scott?
Yes, I will switch back to the overlay. There you go.
No, it's a CBD pain roll on. So literally you just roll this onto like your shoulder. Like in my case, it's got CBD. This has only got 50 milligrams, but they can put a freaking 100 milligrams in this if you want 1,000 milligrams. She can get it going for you.
Why not a million? Put a million.
No more about Sobotanical. No more about Sobotanical tonight, but there will be more to come on that in our Dynasty Trades in 5 line. Love you, Greg and Teresa. So Dan Grimm here sent a super chat. It says sent 2-part messages. Thanks, guys. Great job. No idea, Shane?
No, that's all I saw in there. So thanks, Dan.
Oh, I did see one comment from Dan that says that doesn't look like Scott has slept for a long time. I actually took about a 3-hour nap today, so normally that would be true, but not today. I'm ready.
Dane, appreciate you. I don't know if I'd call me a gentleman, but Scott and usually Clay are gentlemen, and we appreciate your support.
Yep.
Nicely done, Shane. Let me go to Joseph here. Thank you for the super chat. 12-team Superflex, start 10, 6-point per passing touchdown, 1.5 tight end premium. Sent Tua, the 112, 203, Mechie Shaheed. Received Kyler, a mid-24 first, Pat Fryermuth. Have Mahomes and Bryce. Not a contender. Have 424 firsts. Thoughts?
I'd like to marry this trade. I love what you did here, Kyler. Look, and you're not a contender, so you're helping your own pick. Then you upgrade it from a 112 to a 24 first, probably mid, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's going to be better than 112. Most, like I said, like a 98% chance. I do not care.
Clear
about
two roster.
Yeah,
clear
Mechie,
2 roster spots with Mechie and Shaheed.
Yeah. I love Shaheed in start 12. Start 13, one of my favorite wide receivers. But in this setting, this format, I'm 100% great with this.
And let me just give Joseph a shout out here. That is exactly how you squeeze in all the info for the format that we need in a very clear, concise way. You didn't waste any characters. 12-team Superflex, start 10, 6-point passing touchdown, 1.5 tight end premium. No wasted characters. Very nicely done. And yes, I would take the trade.
Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate that. Let's go to Chubb Knuckles here. Currently in a startup with several experienced managers and a couple of noobs. And one was taken advantage of, and some were hinting towards potential collusion without saying it. Thoughts on taking advantage of noobs? Is that how they're going to learn?
Well, first we got to give Chubb Knuckles
this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity. Let me say this, and then you can give Chubb Knuckles whatever. These are the kinds of things that are great opportunities, Shane. I'm looking at you for TikToks, for funny things here. You taking advantage of noobs in Dynasty Fantasy Football. Are you going to have a soul and a heart tonight or not?
Well, so here's the thing. So I know I play, people seem to think I'm an asshole, but I'm not really an asshole. Like, I really don't want to like take advantage of someone, but I will, because I'm trying to win. So, oh well, too bad. It's a learning lesson. Guess what? When
you have child support.
Dynasty,
you have child support.
Yeah, I got child support. Tons of child support. 2 kids. I'm just gonna say this. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. But when I first started playing, you know, what happened is people took advantage of me, and then there were some owners that were cool, or managers that would reach out to me and be like, bro, this is why this was a bad trade. This is what you did wrong. And I'd be like, oh, well, thank you. So hopefully someone in the league will reach out to the noob and explain to them why it's a bad deal. But no, you take advantage of them. I mean, look, it's survival of the fittest, man. It's evolution. It's natural selection. This is what we do. We're trying to cut each other's throats. If it took me to get Scott's electric shut off so that I could win a championship over him, or even a game, like it could be week 2, and like I was given the choice that they're like, all right, the way you're going to win this is you're going to have to disconnect his electric for 3 weeks. Like, he's not going to have any electric for 3 weeks. I don't know what's going to happen to his cats. It could be bad. I would go, I love Scott, but I want to win. So yeah, cut his electric, and whatever happens to the cats happens to the cats. So yeah, take advantage of them.
All I was going to say is you need to get Chubb Knuckles some nut dust. That's it. That's it. Good to go. But yeah, listen, you got to take advantage of people because you know what? Other people are going to take
that's where I
advantage
was
of
going.
them.
And that's the
So
problem, right?
you're better off doing it versus
you either
complaining about
join
the other
or
people that did. Because I think we're all in agreement that if it happens and it's not collusion and it's just somebody, I don't know what I'm doing, it's not getting reversed. You're not going to be able to say, man, I didn't understand what I was trading, or I shouldn't have done that. We're not going to support the let's reverse it out of ignorance. So if that's where your league's going to be, take the deal and move on. You know, even if you're the one that's the perpetrator there, I'd rather be the perpetrator than the one complaining from the sidelines.
I'll tell you right now, I made a I play in a fantasy baseball league. Not particularly good at it. I don't pay attention to any of it. I don't understand most of it. And I made a trade that I thought was okay, and everybody told me it was awful. I learned my lesson. I just won't trade anymore in that league. You know what I mean? You know, or I'll go to someone next time and be like,
or you
hey,
just like don't worry about it.
Or you go to someone that you trust. Look, here's the
orphan
good thing, right? If you're in a league with me, right, and you're a noob, and you come to me and go, hey, I'm not sure the value on this. Can you just give me a read on it? I'll go, well, yeah. Or, you know, also you could use a trade calculator just to see if you're getting absolutely dusted. But like, that's the thing. If you're a noob, you have to understand that you're a noob and be willing to ask people things, like, and learn lessons, you know, like there's nothing worse than the new guy that thinks he knows, or girl that knows everything. And they're just like, well, someone put it in there, and they'll say something like, well, you never know what could happen. Okay. Next.
No, that's good. That's good. Okay.
Thanks,
Fly paint. Thank you, man. So and then there was this message too. Fly paint looks just like my neighbor. Thank you, Fly Paint. Appreciate you. $9.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. Spent all my money very early in a snooze fest slow auction. 12 team. Doesn't he look like the guy who isn't exactly patient? He spent all of his money very early. Look at his avatar. 12 team Superflex, start 9, PPR, 0.5 tight end premium. QBs are Lamar, T-Law, running backs, Antonio Gibson. End of list. Wide receivers, Lamb, London, DK, Dotson, Amari Cooper. Tight end, Michael Mayer. I'll get drafted 20 crappers. Sorry, I had to go on mute and laugh.
It's funny how he said that. But he's right. He's going to get $21 players, and he's going to get all of them after everybody else picks whoever they want. So he's literally going to be picking up like
and who cares?
20 waiver players.
It's start 9. He's got Lamar Jackson, T-Law, Lamb, London, DK. Who's the running back? Gibson.
Antonio Gibson. Gibson. I said the same thing. I wasn't sure who Agabson was, and then I realized it's Antonio Gibson. But
I feel like a moron. But look, that's what happens, right? In auctions, if you're going to spend like I've never seen anyone that's like try to go like this mid route where like I'm going to be really conservative at every position, build a team that's like that matters. Because then what you build a team is it's just like, wow, that's a decent-ish team, but it has no real strengths. And if you have no real strengths, then your just whole team's a weakness.
And one benefit is that he's going to have a lot of churn and burn with those roster spots. So he's always going to have the ability to go, this guy I can drop, this guy can add. So yeah, I'm good with it. It's an interesting strategy, and not a lot of people are comfortable with it, but I'm fine with it.
Patrick, thank you for the super chat. Freshly drafted team messed up and auto drafted rounds 2 to 4. Ouch. 10 team, 1 QB, start 9, PPR, first down bonuses, 0.5 tight end premium. QB, Allen, Kyler, and Russ. Running backs, Chubb, Brees Hall, KW, Charbonnet. Wide receiver, Watson, Addison, Ayuk, Deontay. Tight end, Mayer, McBride. All future picks intact. What are we doing to address this debacle of a wide receiver room? Also, it's 4-point per passing touchdown. Appreciate the advice as always, guys.
It looked good until I realized, man, he's got 3 QBs in the 1 QB start 9, 10 team. Ouch. It's not a disaster of a wide receiver room, but the roster construction's bad. It's got a lot of running backs, but might not be a contending team. I don't know. I think you kind of try to move around and fix your construction. Can you trade Josh Allen here? Try to win without a QB. It's a 10-team start 9.
It's only one QB. Let's see.
That's what I mean. You just kind of bank on wait until Russ, and then hopefully Kyler can come back.
So I'm wondering who the auto picks were. Were the auto picks probably Kyler and like K-Dub?
It probably was Kyler, one of the auto picks, because it's a 1 QB.
Sure.
So yeah. How do you fix it, Shane? It's a disaster. How do you fix it? 4-point passing touchdown. So giving up Josh Allen is probably a big hindrance.
I mean,
down tiering big time.
His running back room is Chubb, Hall, and some variation of the Seattle running back room, which is not particularly bad.
You just try to win here? Try to win?
The wide receivers aren't great, but I've got a couple. They're all young, matter of fact, except for Deontay Johnson, who's 26, right? I just called a 26-year-old not young. But Watson, Addison, and Ayuk are all, what's the word I'm looking for?
I'm trying to win, man. I'm trying to win.
Yeah, they're valuable trade trips. I've got Allen. I go Allen, Chubb, Brees Hall. That's 33% of my roster. I have no idea if that math is correct. I'm just going to go with it. Give me another starter in here. It's a start 9. Give me one more hammer. If I can move Watson and Ayuk or Watson and Deontay and get me like an upgrade at wide receiver, I'm feeling a lot better about this team. Obviously, you can't trade Kyler right now. It's one quarterback, so that's not the format for that, and he's not playing, so no one's going to want him. But when he comes back and he starts putting up crooked numbers and he's a top 8 QB again, then he moves into that conversation where you can move him as a valuable trade chip.
Can you move Ken Walker and Zach Charbonnet for a receiver?
If you can, it's probably going to be someone in the Watson, Addison, Ayuk, Deontay range, which I'm not opposed to, but I'd rather – this sounds awful. I hope that situation clears itself up somehow. And then one of those players will have more value than the other, and I can try to make a move at that point.
So we're just at the last comment here. It is Mike Gardner chiming in saying, I'm here. Favorite show, hands down.
Appreciate you, Mike.
Yep.
We still got Mike. We are an hour and 46 minutes in. Still have 343 people in here. If you wouldn't mind just double checking that you hit that like, we'd appreciate that. We got 8 likes in Facebook. We've got Mr. Padilla's mom. We don't have Shane's mom, but a couple other things, guys. So it is Tuesday night, obviously. We've got the super stream on Saturday. I might reach out to the community and see if anybody wants to like help as like a party planner or something. I want to try to like blow this out a little bit. We have a lot of work to do. Shane always like tells me I need to do stuff, and then I tell him to do stuff because I need help, and he's like, wait, what am I doing here? I need lists. So Shane isn't going to do anything to help me, so I need a party planner. And we already talked about Scott. Scott is probably going to break up with us because of D&D here in a little bit. Who knows? Maybe it'll be before the super stream. No, but I'm kidding. I'm going to reach out to you guys and see if we can get some help. Another thing too is there's going to be a survey that I'm going to send out that I'm really trying hard on. It's kind of a get to know the Trades in 5 community survey. It's a big deal to us in terms of the data capture. So we'll have some big giveaway attached to it, but essentially it'll be a Google form that you'll fill out, and we'll be able to get a profile on you. And one of the questions is, are you interested in getting involved with Dynasty Trades in 5? Just to give you a heads up as to things we're thinking about, T. Sandiford is now answering TikTok and Instagram comments and all, and we are giving him some super chat money to do some work on that. So little projects, you want to earn some side cash. If you've got a hustle, if you've got a skill set, we can find something for everybody to do. So let's just hammer, let's smash, let's squirt, and you'll just be on the lookout for a Google form, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It'll be fast and clean. Boys, would you like to say goodnight to our folks here?
Not good night. Just we'll see you in less than 5 days at this point.
Yeah,
actually, it'll be less than 4 if you're talking about the true 5 days, because we'll be in the midst of the live stream 4 days from right now. So looking forward to it. I just want to reiterate what Clay said. If you have a skill you think will make Trades in 5 better, from the production to the content to the reach on I mean, we're everywhere on social media. So anything you think you can bring to the table, like reach out to one of us. We're always looking for ways to delegate. There's only so many hours in the day that Shane and I can do stuff behind the scenes that we do. We want to put out more content. We want to have different platforms where we can put out more content. But obviously some of the stuff has to be off of our plate if we're going to keep growing. So I think it's good that you brought that up, Clay, that's one of our goals. And we know the community. There's a lot of people in the chat and the comments that watch and they're like, I can do that. I can do that. And we're like, I can't do that. Shane can't do that. So
exactly.
Read? I can read. I don't care what you people say. I can read. No, I'm just
we need help. We need help. We could make this channel really cool. Go ahead, Shane.
I will just say this. Discord, and also what would be, if you're watching, just feel free to just message anywhere, but what would be a fun next version of Manic and Chill? Just trying to think of a name. Like, that'd be a pretty cool thing. I mean, Scott, we used to do Manic and Chill if you're an old head. So if you could think of some cool names, let us know. And thank you for watching. And we'll see you Saturday.
Yes. Yep. We will see you Saturday. A lot more to come from us. And yeah, man, rock and roll. Good night.
God save the Queen.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.